Greetings, physicians, weight loss centers, and today is Wednesday the 28th. Here are your headlines. Only 2 more webinar and conference calls remaining. A little bit of remaining inventory, but don't count on it. Tuesday's Akron meeting. Thursday's Fort Lauderdale meeting. Get those numbers in, and hey, start making phone calls and pass me my sippy cup. It'll all make sense in a moment. Let's first talk about the webinars and conference calls. There's only 2 remaining. One at 10 a.m. tomorrow Eastern Time and one at 2 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. So far, from what I can tell from those that have been on the conference calls and the head count I see on the webinar, a little over 100 people have participated in this. So if you're one of the few that has not done it yet, you want to make sure you log on or at least dial in. And remember, if you're on the webinar portion, you cannot hear the audio unless you dial in, and all that information is sent out, has already been sent out, but I've been sending it out just before each of the calls to make sure you have the most current information. Now, I made an announcement about discounts on the remaining inventory before we make the switch over to the new and improved Physicians Fast product line. And I made the comment that when I announce the discounts, some people may be wondering, why do I want the old stuff? And that the smart franchisee will know exactly what they can do with it. Well, a bidding war broke out. We had at least three people call in trying to cut that discount down a little narrower if we sold them everything. And we didn't do that because we knew enough franchisees would want to take part in it. With that said, I can make, nor Tammy can make any warranties at the time of the shooting of this video as to what's left and what's not left. Anything that is left, we're basically selling it to the highest bidder tomorrow, and those people have already stepped up to the plate and identified themselves with it. Pretty much by the end of today, other than a case here and a case there, is all going to be gone. So you did exactly as we hoped you would. You recognize the value of being able to create some margin for yourself and be able to pass that savings on and maintain margins for yourself with your clients. Let's talk a little bit about next week's meetings. Tuesday here at the corporate office, we're having our first regional one-day sales training. And on Thursday, I'll be in Fort Lauderdale conducting the regional sales training there. For both of those meetings, the drop-dead day for registration is tomorrow. We're just about booked to the gills for the Akron training. We've got room for a few more people for the Fort Lauderdale training, but we need to hear from you by the close of business tomorrow. And remember, you have to have passed online training before you can get into that class. Otherwise, a lot of this stuff's going to be lost on your staff that you send. Franchisees, managers, staff, everybody's welcome. No exclusions, all inclusions. So take advantage of that one-day sales training. It'll help give you some momentum heading into the holidays and through the end of fourth quarter. As far as the remaining meetings, I'll make an announcement on Friday as to when the drop-dead dates are, as to when final registration has to take place. I need you to get your numbers in. I've got folks, I'm fielding calls this week from folks saying October's not going as well, or it started out great and it's starting to slow down, or we had a bad week. It helps if I have the sales numbers to get a better read on what's going on. And I just want to share with you the advice that I've given a few people as early as most recently as today. In many cases, they have what have been otherwise top producing salespeople, sales managers in the center that are having to people walk out the door. Now, not everybody, but the first thing I want you to do is check your close rate. Is this just a string of misses and your close rate's still at 80, 85%? Or is your close rate dropping legitimately down to 75, 70, in one case even 65%? If it's dropping below 80%, yes, you've got a problem. If it's still above 80, I can't say you have a problem right now. You just got to keep plugging through it. It'll work its way out. If you're below that 80% mark, you need to role play with your staff. Your staff needs to role play with each other. If traditionally your salespeople have only had to close the sale 1 or 2 times to get the sale, you may be running into a string of what we refer to as marginalized clients that maybe need to be closed as many as 3, 4, 5, even 6 times before they buy. And it's not a matter of whether they want to do it or not. It's closing to find ways for them to be able to afford it. And it doesn't mean it's too much. It just means afford the cash flow of the program. So role play with your staff. And by the way, that's a key part of what we're covering in these one-day sales trainings. And by the way, I'm doing all the one-day sales trainings. That'll make more sense on Friday when I make a couple of announcements. So make sure you get those numbers in. And to close out our announcements for today, I got this wonderful picture from Sonia Balbuena of Oscar and Sonia's lovely twins. I'm putting them up on the screen. the heir apparents, they not only make beautiful numbers in their center, they make beautiful babies. And if you've been in the same room with Sonia and Oscar, it's a crack up because their daughter looks just like Sonia and their son looks just like Oscar. I don't know how the chromosomes did that. So that's your roundup for today. Look forward to seeing everybody that is coming to the ACRA meeting Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing everyone in Fort Lauderdale on Thursday. Wish I could spend the weekend because, man, it's cold and yucky up here. Have a great day, everybody.